Greetings, lords and ladies who study the mystical arts and practice under the stars. A review of the past weeks where we've been learning the Deha-Chitta, Siddhis. I will explain that today actually. Ashti Maja, Asti Maja, Asti Maja. The bone marrow. Then the tendons and the ligaments, snayu. 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 The muscles, lasika pesel. Lasika pesel. Lasika pesel. The nervous system, Chitta Samhati. Chitta Samhati. Chitta Samhati. And the organs, koSTha. koSTha is written in the Romanized English, koShtha, koSTha. In Romanized Sanskrit phonetics, it is little k, little o, big S, big T, little ha. But you get the gist of this. koSTha. Yeah, thank you, Raven. Exactly like that. Asti Maja, Snayu, Lasika Pesel, Chitta Samhati, koSTha. All right. So, what does koSTha mean? koSTha is one of the words in Sanskrit that means the inner organs, the organs we have inside. The external organs are the organs of the senses, like the eyes, the nose, the ears, the tongue, considered external when you take it out of your mouth. These are indrayas, these are not internal organs, they're external. So koSTha is the internal organs. Depending on the context, koSTha can be only the bowel, but in other languages, sometimes we say the bowel in terms of anything in the belly. And sometimes the bowel is specifically the intestine. So that's one use of the word koSTha. It also means a space inside something. It also means a grain silo, a container where we put food, or we put stuff ready to become food. So koSTha in the dictionary means 20 things, okay? But it is the closest word as a Siddhi to what we mean as the inner organs, like all inner organs. Okay? If the nervous system is Chitta Samhati, then all inner organs refer to everything inside except the brains and nerves, because we have a Siddhi for that. Okay? So throat, heart, lungs, stomach, liver, intestines, and the vesicles and the spleen and every other little thing that we have inside that I don't know the name in English. And there might be many I ignore their existence, as I am not a medical doctor or trained in that fashion. koSTha is all these organs. The Siddhi explanation. The letter K itself is the push. That's what it means. Just K is a push. And the vowel O means all of it, everything. Ko is every push. Ko is every source of power. Okay? Every causality. STha is that manifests in the world. Okay? That is provided to the body is another interpretation. So koSTha is everything that works together to produce power into the body. Our organs is a combustion engine. koSTha. Everything working together to provide energy to the body. koSTha. Some of these organs are meant to keep us fed, to gather the combustion material. Some of these organs are about bringing the comburant rather than the carburant. That's the oxygen, which is the lungs and the blood system. Some of these organs keep the engine clean. Kidneys, the lymphatic system, stuff like that. And everything works together for the sole purpose of providing energy for as long as it can. Maybe forever in its dreams. Maybe eventually reality for those who dream. That was a bit mysterious, I know. So, koSTha. Everything working together to provide energy, to eliminate the trash, to keep the engine clean. So, with Asti Maja and Snayu, Lasika Pezel and Chitta Samhati, that is all the mechanical parts that allows us to move and experiment. koSTha is what processes the earth to deliver energy. Good. koSTha. It's quite simple. So in the practice of koSTha, we don't focus solely on one organ or another. We let go of control of trying to know exactly how the machine works. There are practices where we would specifically pay attention to the liver, or the kidneys, or the heart, or the lungs. This practice of koSTha is not one of those. In koSTha, we accept to admit it doesn't matter how it works, because nature knows. We accept to just invoke the machine inside, the combustion engine, the cleaners, the providers. And we know that together they all work. So all the organs will start to remember, not that they have forgotten. It's more like a metaphor for us. These organs will focus on what they are meant to be. So it's not the word remember, it's they will focus on their function. And all these organs already know that they're supposed to collaborate with the other organs. At the cellular level, every cell of the liver does not know that a stomach or kidneys exist. At the cellular level. But at the organ level, the liver knows it gets its stuff from a previous source. And it has to do a transmutation and deliver to the next source, to the next container inside. So from stomach to bowel, the liver will intervene, produce its magical alchemic juices, which are not magic anymore. It's science. It's natural. Quite similar to the alchemist alembic and distillers of the time. koSTha. At the organ level, every organ knows it's part of a whole, and it wants to collaborate. It wants to, so it does. We as a human who love control and precision, who want to know everything, we can study the phenomena all we want. But our organs know better than our mind will ever what is their function and what's it supposed to do. So they will do it in balance. Give you an example. There was a time I learned I had a kidney problem. I have a kidney and a half on the right side. Literally have almost 2 kidneys and 2 ureteral that goes to the bladder. And I have half a kidney on the left, or 3/4 of a kidney on the left that works less. And it was causing imbalance in my chi. Mutation of some sort. So I wanted to have super efficient kidneys. So with my mind, my human belief that I can control everything with the proper practice and knowledge, focus on having super efficient and powerful kidneys. Oh yeah, I was always drying up, always peeing, and the body was missing water. So through karma, cause and effect, I realized that the kidneys needed to work in balance with everything else and not focus on being super efficient and performant. They had to be healthy and in harmony with the rest of the body. In the practice of koSTha, we accept that we're not going to be in control. All our organs are going to do everything they can to work together in harmony and balance and health. koSTha. You see, this is where we need to trust nature. Trust nature. And if your body has an ailment and a sickness, you would think, but I can't trust nature. It's doing something wrong. Yes. Maybe it's a karma of yours. Maybe it's a dharma. Maybe it's just prikti. Okay. Prikti is entropy, just random stuff. We'll talk about that in a moment. Prakti. Prakriti is another thing. It's nature as it is. So maybe something is wrong with your body and you think you cannot trust your body because it's sick. So here you have to consider, maybe it's not the fault of the body. Maybe it's just causality. Or the process of nature. Or old age, or stuff happens. Stuff happens. So, trust your body that it's going to do its best. Its best does not mean perfection. No. It means that it will work with the tools it has to get better, to be in harmony with itself, its various components, to be productive, to be healthy. Yeah. koSTha. koSTha. If you have fear of nature, doubt in nature, regret in nature, work on it. Do personal growth. If you've abused of intoxicants, if you did not exercise enough, if you ate pollution, forgive yourself for not knowing what you just did not know. When the world handed over so many desserts and it felt good emotionally, so you took a lot. Like my good friend Pritralita has many a time said, whoever invented the idea to put fat and sugar together should win a Nobel Prize, because desserts is the best invention ever. So he reminded me so many times when we were at the restaurant and the waitress was asked, Will you have any dessert? Of course we will. Well, you know what? I got tired of dessert, thank God. But that was one of my intoxicants. And the other was alcohol. So trust me, I do not judge those who partake of drugs socially or abusively. I don't judge. I know it hurts. Forgive ourselves for not knowing what we did not know when we just did not know it. It's only through life lessons that we can grow. And before we learned it, we haven't. And whatever reason causes us to eat and consume these pollutants, work on those too. Yeah. So that's the personal growth we have to do. What we've done with the nature that was given to us at birth and as we grew. What did we do with nature? How we treated it. Do personal growth on that. Just keep going. Just get better. Do your best. It's okay. All right? Next topic. The 3 influences in our life. Karma, Dharma, and Prakti. Okay? Karma, cause and effect. If you address yourself arrogantly to others, they will react in their own ways by fleeing from you or getting in your face even more. Then we might wonder why people are arrogant with us, as it might be just a reflections of our past actions. Okay, that's an example of karma. Okay, cause and effect. Dharma, the soul's curiosity for a life lesson, where you've done nothing wrong, simply not know what you did not know, and was provided by life and nature an opportunity to learn it. And then you have. That's Dharma. Prakti is entropy. It's the randomizer. In nature, stuff happens. You didn't want to learn it, didn't care. It's not your fault. You did nothing wrong. It just happens. Okay? Some of it is not karma or dharma. It's prakti. It's a jungle. People do things. Some of my friends and some of my acquaintances are suffering, and they ask me what they did wrong. And if I see a causality, karma, I will say it. If I see a dharma, I will say it. It's a lesson to learn, whatever. But many times in the last 2 years, I said, you did nothing wrong. You happen to be born in a country that doesn't care for its people. A few of you are in that situation. where capitalism is more important than caring for each other. Basically, countries that don't pay for your health system. That's basically it. That's pretty much it. Not only America, but others. Okay. So sometimes it's just you're in that country. This is how your economy is going. It's prakti. It's the jungle turned that way. Okay. So in the study and practice of koSTha, we learn that prakti is an influence. Nature just happens. And sometimes it's inside. It's in the koSTha that it happens. It happens. The Sanskrit word for nature is prakriti. So prakti is not nature. Prakti is the Shakti in nature, or the energy that is there in the world. The entropy. Prakti is entropy. It's the power in the manifest world that just goes randomly. It seems to be chaotic. It is actually very organized, not Cartesian. Okay? Nature is very organized and absolutely not Cartesian. Okay? It's not a grid with algebra formulas that we can easily, A equals B, No. Nature is organized. And in a way, our koSTha manages the energy of prakti. It's not necessary to remember all this for the practice. Just to know the organs want to get better at what they do. And once they're good, they just want to keep becoming good. They don't become super better. No. They want to become as intended, in balance and harmony. That's what koSTha needs. Everything else about prakti is for you to understand this apparent chaos in nature and the entropy of thermodynamics, which is these patterns that are similar but don't repeat. Like the word game. With entropy, nothing is ever what it was, Anyway. For those who could understand that bit of mysticism and science, I'm happy you did. But it was a bit complex. Good. So we can go back to the simple practice of koSTha now, that all this blabber about prakti is done. koSTha. Everything between the mouth and anus. Everything beyond the nose. What is inside? koSTha. koSTha. I was going to wait until the end of the process, but I figured it was time to tell you the name of the process. I told my translators a while ago, just so they could follow the class. It's simply called Dehachitta. The Dehachitta, Deha means body, and Chitta means mind. In Dehachitta, there's nothing clear about the relationship of Deha and Chitta. It doesn't say the body's mind, the mind of the body of the mind. It doesn't say the mind and the body. It's not clear. It simply says Deha Chitta, body, mind. So I guess it's all of the above. Deha Chitta. Yeah, we write it with a H, D-E-H-A, Deha Chitta. Chitta is well written. But in Spanish, we would write D-H-J-A, Deha Chitta. I get it. And just for the pronunciation, Deha is the body, Chitta is the mind. Deha Chitta. To make it easy, we say body and mind process, but it's not body and mind. It's body-mind, like both at the same time. Okay, that's the Deha Chitta. That's just the name of the process. Start with the bone marrow, which is something inside, very deep. Asti Maja. And then the links to other things from their snayu, the links from the bone to other things. And then, like Lovejoy, yeah. And then from the snayu to the lasika pesel, the muscle and what it connects to. And then the nervous system that commands the muscle, but also commands the organs. So, koSTha samhati. And then the organs, koSTha. 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 Yeah. Lakshmi Yantra shared last week, I believe, that after a practice of Lasika Pesel, she felt stronger. She could observe more strength in the body. That means that if we observe more strength in the body from the practice of one of those siddhis, it is a possible indicator that when we practice the other siddhis, they also deliver results, whether we are aware of it or not. Practice and see where it leads you, okay? Next week we will do the outer organs. It was a nice class. You might have a bit of physical purification when we start with the koSTha. And then you'll see how everything just starts to get better inside. Now the young ones, the 22 years old and whatever, you might not see a difference because you're already in the prime of the body's performance. But, you know, I saw a difference when I started practicing a few days back. Love you guys. Peace.